That's one that tickles, eh?
Dr. Jimmy Shiro Hasagawa practices dentistry in Montreal. He was born in Vancouver in 1930.
My parents came over from Japan to Canada in 1917. My father had bought out a small restaurant, which my mother ran, and my father was working both in the restaurant at night and during the daytime working in the sawmill. He was working 18 hours a day. When war broke out, word was posted along the Japanese ghetto that all able-bodied men would be forced to be relocated to an internment camp in the interior part of BC. Abruptly one night my father received a notice that he would have to leave us, and there it was. We went to see him off at the train station and he was gone. We received notice we too would be shipped to one of the relocation centers with only 75 pounds of luggage per person. So my mother was forced to sell the restaurant business for $300. And that's with all the equipment and everything inside. But mother had no choice. What do you do when the tooth comes out?
Put it under my pillow.
And what happens?
I get some money.
Like what? How much do you get?
About 25 cents.
25 cents? And who brings the 25 cents?
Mommy.
Mommy does, eh? Oh, I thought it was a tooth fairy that brought the 25 cents. During the war, we were interned in the relocation center for a period of 5 years. After war was over, we had a choice of being relocated east of the Alberta-BC border or going back to Japan. My father, deep inside, felt that perhaps the family should go back to Japan after the way he, my mother, had been treated. On the other hand, my sister was quite adamant in staying in Canada. We chose Montreal because rumors circulating in those days was that Montreal, being French-speaking, had absolutely no discrimination against the Orientals. Yes, I'm very pleased with you, Michelle. You got a lovely clean mouth, you know? You don't have a single filling, you know that, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, you rinse your mouth out well, okay? We arrived here, I think it was May of 1946, and there was absolutely no money in the family coffers to allow me to go to school. So I started working in a factory, and I went to night school for 7 years. I liked tinkering around with mechanical things, and I may have had an inclination towards becoming a mechanic until one day I took a course in vocational guidance with tests for manual dexterity. I just sat there, just nervous as hell, and suddenly I blurted out with the top of my voice, "No, I want to do it, I want to do it." After the evening session was over, she called me over to the side and asked me if I had ever considered going into the jewelry business or into dentistry. And this is how I got into dentistry. Okay, I'm going to put fluoride on your teeth. I got 2 flavors, grape and orange. Which one would you like?
Grape.
Grape, okay. Grape it shall be. The field of dentistry may look easy, but it's a field in which there's a tremendous amount of tension. You're working with people all day long. You're always moving with your hands. And I think that you can get the highest degree of eye, hand, or mind, body coordination when you're physically fit. Through my athletic background, I've always tried to keep myself in a half-decent physical shape. Okay, the 4 minutes is up now, okay? I'm going to take this out now. Okay, keep it open there. Okay, how was it?
Fine.
Was it yucky?
Yeah.
No? Really good, eh? I've never ran into prejudice the last 30-odd years I've been living in Quebec, other than to be sometimes mistaken not for Chinese. Oh, mind you, they say all Orientals look alike. My children do not consider themselves Japanese at all. I'm very happy to know that they have absolutely no feelings like we have had, have been discriminated against, and that they feel they're total Canadians at all times.
Few times the gums around here get loose.
Yeah.
Like they start wiggling.
Wiggly, that's right. You know why, eh? Because the teeth are coming in. They're not completely in yet. But you're only 7 years old.
Uh-huh.
I think there's still time for the teeth to straighten out. I enjoy doing what I do. And I know for sure, if it hadn't been for this one little evening back in 1952, and something inside me told me to stand up and yell out, "No, I'll do it," I think I would have ended up running the garage today.
Good girl.